So many people are saying that 2023 will be the year for Social Security. But let's be honest, it won't be the year for seniors. We have heard all these discussions before. We've heard discussions about Social Security. We hear all the time that lawmakers are attempting to pass additional legislation to provide for seniors. But the reality of the situation is that nothing has gotten done, and it likely will not get done in 2023. Some of the biggest concerns that seniors face today, and really the ones that they have, are their healthcare costs and financial security. Healthcare costs are pretty self-explanatory. We understand that, yes, healthcare keeps getting more and more expensive, and especially in a time like this, when all costs, food, healthcare, utilities, rent, everything is more expensive than it was 3 or 4 years ago, it is hurting seniors the most. But as far as financial security, this includes things like Social Security income, monthly expenses, investments, and more. For most people who have yet to reach retirement age, they don't understand the difficulties of dealing with these issues as you age. This includes myself, okay? Now you're probably wondering, why would I take advice from somebody that is not yet retired? Here's the reason why. I've spent a lot of time over the past year, really over the past couple years, more so over the past 6 to 12 months, and I've talked to many people who have been retired for some time. Some people, they relied heavily on Social Security payments just to put food on their table. I talked to some people that didn't get anything from Social Security, and they receive an income from other investments. I even spoke with a couple of people who relied on family just to supplement their income in order for them to be able to live and not have to work, because frankly, they couldn't. Now, what I have found is shocking. And this is why 2023 will be a very difficult year for all seniors, especially those that are lower and middle income seniors. Let's dive into what is likely to happen in 2023. This is the big one. The big one is that the U.S. is going to dip into a recession. Now, economists are already projecting that the U.S. will fall into a recession starting in April of 2023. Why is this such a big deal? Well, it's currently March 25th, 2023. So, in just, I believe, 7 days, next Saturday will be April 1st. And this is not an April Fool's joke. This is serious. Things are not looking good. Here's what I can tell you. When the U.S. dips into a recession, we are likely to see hiring here in the U.S. It is likely to at least slow down. But many companies are already expecting to lay off employees. And with layoffs, this means less money flowing into the Social Security Trust, which puts even more pressure on Congress to pass some form of Social Security reform. The problem right now is that nobody can agree. Now, you probably heard me talk about this before, where, okay, yes, if people get laid off, that means less money for Social Security. Well, what does that do for seniors today? For seniors today, it does almost nothing. But for those that are going to still be retired or be coming into retirement in the next 10 years, if there's less money in the Social Security Trust, this means that Social Security could become insolvent much sooner, which means that, yes, you may be getting 100% of your benefits today. I heard from somebody that gets just about $1,000. This person, it's like $987 or something like that that they get. Well, then they were saying how they need every single dollar. That at the end of the month, normally they have between $3 and $7 at the end of the month. That's all they have left. Guess what? If Social Security becomes insolvent, which this could actually be expedited if we do see the Social Security Trust Fund get less money, but the payments are actually increasing, what we could see is Social Security recipients would actually lose about 22% of their benefits every single month. So this person that gets, let's say, just $1,000, if she lost 22%, that means instead of $1,000, she's getting $780 a month. She would not be able to live because, like I said, she has anywhere between $3 and $7 every single month. That's all she has left. Well, you take away $220, well, she's behind by almost $215. That's a problem. Now, not only does a recession mean less money for the Social Security Trust, but a recession could scare seniors. And here's why. If you are a senior that is currently working, this could be a problem. The reason for this is because companies have shown in the past that they are more willing to lay off employees that could actually retire early as opposed to laying off a younger person who still has many years left to work. Think about that. Think about what happened during the pandemic. What happened? Well, we saw a bunch of people got laid off, right? Millions and millions of people got laid off. They couldn't work. The company, they didn't have any customers coming in, so they weren't going to keep you on payroll. Well, guess what? For those that were close to retirement age, they retired. For those that didn't want to go back to work for whatever reason, again, they retired if they could. This is troubling. This is troubling because if you are currently working and you have no plans to retire right now, if we dip into recession and we see mass layoffs, your layoff could be that stepping stone to an early retirement. Again, this means more money being pulled from the Social Security Trust. Now, I don't just want to talk about Social Security. I don't just want to talk about a recession. Let's think about what else is going on. By now, I think we can all agree that relying on the U.S. government to increase Social Security benefits is not going to happen, especially with the divided Congress. But that shouldn't stop seniors from living. Now, I spoke with a couple a few weeks ago, and they said something very interesting. And I want your take on this as well. And it was that they didn't want to leave their children with nothing. And I've heard this many times in the past, but listen to what kind of our conversation was about. So this couple, they said that they had to, they paid off their house about 5 years ago, before the whole pandemic. And they were able to live comfortably because they had some investments, right? But due to the economy's recent decline and their portfolios dropping so quickly, they could no longer afford their very basic lifestyle. So they said that their only option at this time was a reverse mortgage because they needed to, they wanted to keep their home. They didn't want to sell it. They thought about downsizing, but again, they want to give something to their children when they pass on. So I explained to them, they have more options, but again, it all came down to them wanting to leave their children with something when they were gone. Now, like I said before, this is not the first time I've heard this. I've heard this from many seniors in the past. They say they don't want to take money out of their retirement accounts unless they absolutely have to. And it's because they want to give their children something when they are no longer here. One person also told me that she rations her medicine because of the cost. She knows that yes, she can afford it, but if she continues to spend money like she has been on her medicine, her accounts would go to zero very quickly, and again, it would mean she can't give anything to her children. What I can tell you is seniors are going to have a very tough time in 2023. We don't see a lot of movement from Congress. We don't see a lot of actual proposals and bills coming out. Everything's a discussion about Social Security, bringing down the cost of Medicare, right? These are discussions. And like I said, the two biggest concerns that seniors have, and let me know if this is something different, healthcare costs and financial security. Those are the two things that seniors are most worried about. But let me know. Maybe it's something else that you are more worried about than healthcare costs and financial security? And if it is, put it down in the comment section below. But I just wanted to, make this video and talk to you guys about that. Yes, you may have a difficult year, and I think everybody will. But here's the thing. Seniors, and I've heard this from many people that, again, they run businesses. Seniors are not being looked at this time as people that they should go and hire. And the reason for this is simple. According to many employers, it's more beneficial to hire a younger person that can bring in the system for many years because of the cost of training. That many employers do not want to hire somebody that's 2, 3, 4 years away from retirement or even closer, because they worry that if the economy does shift and it does become more difficult and people need to go and retire, that some people will, and they'll leave them high and dry. So, for an employer, it is seen as an easier decision to find somebody that is younger, not necessarily because they're going to cost less, but because they will be there longer. So, again, 2023 will be a difficult year for seniors. But let me know, what are you most worried about? Is it healthcare costs? Is it financial security? Or is it something else entirely?